Hello and welcome back to the Talk with Akimomi, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of teenagers and young people, exploring the challenges, triumphs, and experiences that shape their lives. If you're a teenager, young adult, or simply curious about the issues impacting today's youth, you've come to the right place. Join us as we create a space for understanding, growth, and empowerment. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your friends and family. Let's start the conversation. So today's episode is the anniversary episode. A year ago, August 4th, 2023, I started this little project, and it actually grown massively than I thought it would be actually. I drew inspiration from a teacher in church then. His name is, we call him Uncle Mike, right? He runs a podcast on Spotify. Very awesome podcast. I think you guys should check it out. It's called Uncle Mike Speaks. Very awesome podcast. Talks about society, teenagers, and a whole lot of good stuff. So I drew inspiration from that. And given the fact that uh, in person, I'm a very shy person. So it's very hard to get my opinions across to people without stuttering or blabbing and not getting the full thing out to people. So I said, okay, what can I do? A podcast sometimes could be like a faceless content type of thing. Okay, so I sat down, consulted with a couple of friends, and I also spoke to Uncle Mark about it. Asked him how did he start, what was his inspiration, and all that. And he gave me tips that I've been using, and he even taught me how to use he told me how to use the app I'll use to get started, and I got started, and I found a graphic designer, a friend of mine, very good. He does very good designs actually, and he didn't charge me much for the flyer design and the logo design, and it turned out really nice. Okay, so I saw that the support from my friends and family was becoming larger and larger. So I decided to start it. I mean, something huge starts from very, very small. So I started with a trailer, but I eventually deleted that along the line. And I started with one episode. The title of the episode was the LGBTQ community. Because that's been on my mind for a very long time. I wanted to talk about it for a long time. And out of all the episodes I've done, it still has the highest play so far because it was my first episode ever, and I don't know, I just kept promoting it, and because I left that episode on there for a very long time, and I didn't push any other agenda or put any other episode on there for like a month or so, and then I kept bringing out new episodes. I consult with people, talk to them. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Yeah, and I want to thank each and every one of us, and yeah, of course, and every one of you, the listeners, because without you guys, I don't think I'll be here. Your support has been massive, honestly. Because when I started this podcast, I started with less than 10 followers, and now today I have a little over 50 followers. That's in a year, and it's really been massive, to be honest. And my audience is about 4 countries, five actually. In Nigeria, most of my audience are in Nigeria, in the United Kingdom, United States, Sweden, and even Canada. And that goes to show that the podcast is going farther than I anticipated, and it's mind blowing when I think about it, to be honest. And again, it won't be possible without God, without you guys. It won't be possible without your support. And I just want to use this episode to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart, because it's been, there's sometimes where I want to give up. And then, okay, let me give an example of a story. Um, Recently, I met a fellow uh, podcaster. She also just started her podcast online. Okay, so I decided to text her that, okay, I do podcasts. I listen to your podcast. Your podcast was nice. How do you feel about listening to mine? And then I sent her the link and she said she's going to take a listen to it. And then about last week or so, she texted me that she listened to my podcast and the podcast was really, really nice. And that was what I needed to hear because I'll be very honest. I was almost at the point of, okay, saying, I'm going to take a break for a couple of months from podcasting and all that because I was battling with some, personal stuff. And then when I saw the message, it was just good to know that, okay, people actually listening to this and people actually like what I do. And people, people might not say it, but uh, this podcast has like left an influence on people. It's giving them it's giving them hope in a way. Because when I was talking to the person was like, there's not a lot of podcasts out there that talk about the issues affecting teenagers or Gen Z youths in quotes. There's not a lot of podcasts out there that do that. And that the fact that I'm doing that is actually very brave and that. And that was really the encouragement I needed, to be honest. And I want to thank each and every one of you because, when I first started, there were lots of, no, there was not a lot of criticism. No, it was, well, first of all, when I first started, it was weird. Even to me, it was weird. Like, okay, why am I doing this? I had to like sit back and relax. Like, okay, chill. Why are you doing this? What do you want to gain? What do you want to gain from this? And I said, okay, um, I can't talk to people directly. I can't talk to people like physically or in a massive audience and that. But creating this platform will give me a way to like talk to a much much larger audience than I could possibly imagine. And I don't know who I could help. Each and every one of us, our lives are tied to a certain person. I don't know. I've heard somewhere that uh, you might be the helper of somebody, and if there's a thought in your heart that you're supposed to do something that is going to like help a lot of people, and out of all those people, there's just one single person that thing is meant to touch directly, and it was intentionally placed there by God. And if you procrastinate or you just ignore it at the end of the day, I don't know, it might stand against you in judgment. I really don't know how it works, but I don't know if you know what I mean, but that's what I feel. And like, okay, there's a lot of people that listen to the podcast, and there are a lot of comments that I read here. Not a lot, but I read comments, and it's really good to know that people actually listen. Not a lot of people have, not a lot of people listen to what you have to say, and it's really nice to know that you guys are actually listening to the podcast and promoting it and giving your feedback, areas of improvement and all that. It's really nice. And I want to thank each and every one of you. The, the talk with Akimomi is 1 year old and we aim to go bigger. We aim to go bigger this year, talk about different things like, Gen Z are breaking into the corporate world, the society at large. We aim to talk about a lot of things this year. God willing, I will be able to do that with your support and your encouragement. Thank you all once again. I love you. Thank you.